4 not-so-secret classified military installations. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Beyond Crazy. 4. Pine Gap. Like many of the bases on this list, Pine Gap is one of the least secretive secret military bases in the world. This facility is set out in the middle of the Australian outback. There, miles away from anything resembling any kind of civilization, the Australians and their American friends have developed a joint military venture. The joint base was first used way back in the 1960s. Today it has an incredibly vague official name, Joint Defense Space Research Facility. As you might have guessed, it reportedly does work in the aerospace realm. And much like Area 51 and other American bases, Pine Gap finds its success in being located far out in the desert and far away from any potentially prying eyes who might want to learn more. When it first spooled into heavy use, Pine Gap workers were reportedly tasked with tracking Soviet missiles and spy planes. These days, even with the Soviet threat dead and gone, Pine Gap is reportedly still churning right along. Defense experts and military insiders suggest intelligence workers there still monitor a host of spy satellites positioned around the globe. In fact, the base is so secretive that even former Australian prime ministers aren't told about what happens there. But at least one data reveal did shed some light on the site. In 2013, Edward Snowden's infamous intelligence leak unearthed information that Pine Gap was used to order and guide drone strikes in Iraq and elsewhere in the Middle East. 3. Raven Rock. Raven Rock Mountain Complex is one of the federal government's worst-kept military secrets. The location, which is also known as Site R, is home to an underground bunker located far below the surface in rural southern Pennsylvania. The well-known secret base is supposedly there for when the nuclear apocalypse comes about. If nuclear bombs start dropping, American military leaders are supposed to head to the base. There, they will theoretically be able to control the war effort from the safety of the below-ground site. Even as the ground above them is obliterated by nuclear explosions and the ensuing fallout, the story goes, military leaders can carry on just as normal deep within the earth. What we do know about the facility is pretty impressive. It's dug into the side of Raven Rock Mountain. It cuts half a mile into the mountain and then another half mile down further into the earth. Inside is a power plant, a reservoir with clean drinking water, and multiple large buildings carved into the rock. Site R has its own police and fire departments. It's got a cafeteria to serve more than 2,000 people, too. Basically, it's a ready-made community meant for survivors of nuclear fallout. The facility is up and running even now, so clearly there are a lot of people going in and out to make that happen. Whatever secrets they know, though, have mostly been kept among the workers. 2. Porton Down. We've picked on the Americans and Russians plenty in this list so far. What about a British military installation that everybody not so secretly knows about? As we jump across the pond, we find ourselves at the Defense Science and Technology Laboratory. Military experts know it better as Porton Down, though. First formed more than a century ago, in 1916, Porton Down is where the British tested their first ever chemical weapons. The site has evolved quite a bit since its primitive World War I beginnings, of course, but Porton Down is still a site that possesses considerable public interest well into the 21st century. Today, military officials and research experts at Porton Down no longer study just chemical weapons. They also look into infectious disease research and experimentations with superviruses. That means Ebola, anthrax, deadly nerve agents, and plenty of other scary molecules and diseases are tracked there. Officially, the British government likes to claim otherwise. Their public stance is that no research into chemical or biological weapons has been done at Porton Down since the middle of the 1950s. Civilians across the country have been skeptical of that claim for decades, though, and it's clear Porton Down is still in operation, no matter what tasks it actually or purportedly carries out. 1. HAARP. The expansive deserts of the American Southwest aren't the only rural place where the United States likes to set up military research facilities. Far up in the north, in rural Alaska, the feds run a site called the High Frequency Active Auroral Frequency Program. That's a mouthful, though. The world instead knows the military outpost as HAARP. For years, HAARP was a jointly run military base overseen by the Air Force, the Navy, the University of Alaska at Fairbanks, and the infamous Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA. At the time it was most heavily used, HAARP was purportedly meant to study communication methods and potential ways to improve surveillance, using ionosphere technology. That's a fancy way of saying the site supposedly studies the Earth's atmosphere, and specifically its ions and free electrons, while trying to figure out how to transmit radio waves through it. For years, conspiracists have, excuse the pun here, harped on HAARP. They claim the site is used to control the weather all around the world. Former Venezuelan leader Hugo Chavez even once accused HARP officials of purposely causing the 2010 earthquake that devastated the island of Haiti. Other conspiracies are similar. HARP supposedly controls floods and hurricanes, and its research is leading to mind control technology. Some even claim that it can directly cause plane crashes and power outages at will. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.